Alex Dutton didn't really have to do that in 1923's final. While her sacrifice is a brave and noble prospect, one could argue that Alex Dutton's, Julia Schlattfer, extreme choice in 1923's finale wasn't necessary. In the 1923 season 2's finale, Alex's husband, Spencer Dutton, Brandon Sklenar, rescues her from the side of the railroad line, where she is fighting for her life after her new friends, Paul Augustus Prue and Hillary Janet Montgomery, freeze to death on their voyage to Montana. Stranded in the snow, but the greedy Alex lights their motor car on fire, flagging down Spencer's train to Livingston, putting the lovers together again. Still, despite their serendipitous 1923 season 2 reunion, Spencer leaves Alex on the train to Bozeman with Jacob Harrison Ford, while he returns to the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch to help his aunt, Kara Helen Mirren. When Spencer reunites with his wife at the hospital, Alex tells him that she has refused the procedure to amputate her legs and arm, opting not to live a life that lacks her former capabilities. While Alex has her reasons for opting out of the amputation, her death was a tragic occasion for Spencer and the entire Yellowstone franchise, prompting questions about whether it was necessary. According to the mother's reasoning, Alex Dutton sacrifices her own life to save baby John Dutton at the end of 1923 season 2. At first, Alex makes this choice because she is 6 months pregnant, and the doctors want to abort her baby to rush her into surgery to amputate her arm and legs. However, Alex initially refuses the procedure so that she can deliver John Dutton and give her baby a fighting chance at life. Miraculously, Alex Dutton indeed delivers her baby amid her declining health, and yet she continues to refuse the medical treatment that would save her. After she delivers her baby, Alex holds off on surgery to hold on to John. The doctors warn her that the infant won't survive, but Alex wants to cradle her son anyway and takes a moment to nurse him. While having that contact with his mother was doubtlessly a lifeline to John Dutton while he was struggling to survive, Alex opts out of the procedure yet again after she has a moment to feed him. In the end, Alex says, the mother that would choose herself over her child is no mother at all, implying she sacrificed herself. Still, the clamor from some Yellowstone fans after 1923 is that Alex could have saved her own life and baby John Dutton. While it's true that her decision improved John's outcome, Alex sacrificed being present for the rest of John's life by not trying to save herself. Alex needed to take a moment to nurse and hold John Dutton after his birth, but she was in a medical facility and likely could have passed her baby on to a nurse to keep him warm and comfortable while she underwent surgery, attempting to save both their lives. It was unrealistic to start with that Alex's baby would survive in the 1920s at 6 months old, so it's no less probable that John Dutton could survive a few hours without her. What doesn't make sense is that baby John survives on goat's milk, or that Kara feeds a premature baby on the front porch when there is still snow on the ground. Her decision is supposedly a sacrifice, and yet, Alex proves her decision is dual-purposed. Alexa's choice is also for herself, saying, "I'm not a dreamer. I don't imagine running through fields. I have to do it." It's worth scrutinizing her fate because Alexa's death was a massive loss for Spencer, Kara, and the entire 1923 Dutton family. The majority of 1923 fans anxiously awaited Alex and Spencer's reunion, hoping they would run the ranch together, even through all the horrible things that happened to Alex Dutton in 1923. After all the awful circumstances she endured, from being dehumanized at Ellis Island to being beaten at Grand Central Terminal, Alex was due for a win in the finale. And dying after her baby's birth wasn't enough, even if her final scene with Spencer was a redeeming end. With her death, too, died our hope that Alex would meet Spencer's family or helm the next Yellowstone prequel, 1944. Still, perhaps the most disappointing part about her choice is that Alex departs from her tenacious will to survive, which defined her 1923 season 2 story up to that point. Alex sacrificing herself is a noble and sad Yellowstone death. Yet there are enough moments in the plot to make the viewer question whether the choice is necessary. Let's be clear, nobody expected Alex Dutton to go quietly into the night. From the moment he waltzed into 1923 with his linen shirts, devil-may-care grin, and aristocratic accent, we knew this wasn't going to be a typical cowboy. But even the most loyal fans, those who swooned over every windswept close-up and dramatic declaration of love to Spencer Dutton, had to stop and clutch their pearls when Alex pulled that stunt in the finale. Yes, that. Let's rewind for a second. The finale of 1923 had stakes so high you'd think they were fencing in Montana territory. Spencer Dutton, war-scared and love-struck, was trying desperately to return home to save his family from a fate as bleak as a winter storm. Alex, his fiercely devoted and slightly chaotic fiancée, was right by his side. Until, of course, she wasn't. Until, of course, a certain shipboard incident left Alex swept up in a royal mess involving her ex-fiancé, an ocean liner, and a near-duel that even Ernest Hemingway would have said was a bit much. But let's get to the heart of it. When Alex was forcibly separated from Spencer, dragged back to London by her blue-blooded relatives like a wayward duchess gone rogue, she didn't just sit around, sipping tea and waiting for the plot to find her. No, she orchestrated what can only be described as a drama-drenched, period piece-level rebellion. Let's talk about that moment. After weeks of delays, heartbreak, and intercepted letters, Spencer finally arrives at the harbor in London, believing he might catch a glimpse of Alex. Instead, what does he see? Alex perched on the balcony of her family estate, yelling his name as if she were Juliet on the battlements, only with significantly more sass and defiance. And then she jumps. Not metaphorically, not emotionally, literally hurls herself off a balcony in full Edwardian attire. Corset and all. Sure, it was only a one-story drop. But in that moment, it wasn't just gravity that made jaws drop. It was the audacity, the recklessness, the sheer Alexness of it all. Did she need to do that? Probably not. There were stairs. There were doors. There were several butlers nearby who could have called a cab. But Alex Dutton doesn't do quiet exits. She doesn't do the expected. This woman ran off with an American cowboy on a moment's notice, crossed the African savannah in heels, and now she was jumping out of windows like a heroine in a Bronte fever dream. That balcony leap said everything. I am not a woman to be contained. And while some viewers clutched their pearls and muttered, she didn't really have to do that, others knew deep down it was the only thing she could do. That moment wasn't just about romantic flair, it was a declaration. It was Alex saying, I choose love over legacy. I choose wild over wealthy. I choose the dusty, uncertain roads of Montana over the sterile, gilded cages of London. And really, when put that way, who wouldn't take the leap? Of course, it caused mayhem. Her family was scandalized. British tabloids, or whatever the 1923 equivalent was, surely had a field day. And Spencer? That poor man looked both horrified and completely in love. But this is 1923, not a Jane Austen tea party. This is a show where survival and romance intertwine in brutal, beautiful ways. Alex leaving from that balcony wasn't just for dramatic effect. It was survival. Survival of love. Survival of self. Some viewers have argued that Alex could have made her point with a less reckless move. that she could have sent a note, escaped out a back door, or waited until her relatives weren't watching. But then it wouldn't have been Alex. She doesn't whisper when she can shout. She doesn't tiptoe when she can stampede. Her actions, as extravagant as they are, come from a heart that's all in, all the time. And isn't that exactly what Spencer needs? A man broken by war, unsure of where he belongs, whose heart only knows peace in the wild. He doesn't need a quiet wife who follows the rules. He needs a partner who will jump, literally and metaphorically, into the unknown with him. Still, one has to wonder, what does this mean for the next chapter? Will Spencer and Alex actually make it to Montana? Will the Dutton family even recognize them when they arrive, dusty, disheveled, and possibly chased by a very angry English dude?